Good day and welcome to Business and Finance here on Echo Television International. I am Rachel Tanze and I am honored to have the Financial Director of Echo with me today on the show and the author of the book titled Money, How Much Is Enough? Secrets to Financial Freedom. With me today in the studio, I have Friday Even Mama, FCA, the Financial Director of Echo, as I have mentioned, and we're going to focus mainly on his book titled Money, How Much Is Enough? A question I believe a lot of people will want to know the answer to it, because we're in a world with so much financial chaos and people are wondering, in an economy like Nigeria, how much is enough for me to truly feel comfortable as a citizen and also as an individual to say that I have the best standard of living. Welcome, sir, to the program today.
Thank you for having me.
So, we'll just dive straight into the book. And for me, what I love about this book personally is how very practical it is, and it feels like everybody, and I believe that this is an eye-opener for a lot of people to know that they should grab this book and read it, because it is very practical. And just as I said, with Nigeria as it is now, with the financial crisis, we have inflation left, right, center, we have businesses managing to struggle, we have people getting laid off, we have a constant ask for review on minimum wages, salaries, and people saying they're not making enough strike. Doctors, we have the NLC going on strike because there is a payment review that is needed, and all of that, sir. Now the question which the book is all about is money. How much is enough? What is financial security? And for me, sir, I know that one of the things that stood out for me is the calculation of how much is enough. A lot of people have stereotype when you mention the word poor, but I believe you did justice to that, and I would just like you, for those that are yet to grab the book, to just know how much is enough and to calculate if you do have enough.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to have this session. I want to appreciate Equa TV for even thinking that I should come and do some explanation on the topic. I think it's an honor for me, and I appreciate the management of Equa TV. Now, on the book, how much is enough? I think the specific question you asked is chapter 2 of the book.
Yes, sir.
Formula to calculate how much is enough.
How much is enough?
I think let me give you a background of the book first before I go to that particular issue. Yeah, about 70% of the problem of people is about money. 70%. Everything we do evolves around money.
True. And
over the years, I think I've noticed a lot of disconnect people have about money. A good majority of people think, okay, I'm not doing well now. My happiness will be better if my pay increases tomorrow.
Yes.
We keep postponing what we are supposed to be. We are supposed to be happy on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But we are postponing it, thinking when we have enough tomorrow.
Yes.
That is when we'll be happier and stuff. So it's from that premise that I decided I needed to write a book. I made a presentation on the topic sometime in 2019 at the Chapel Hour at the Echo Headquarters, and the feedback I got was overwhelming, and it's part of what I put in the book.
Yes.
So a lot of people came to me, they wanted to have a copy of the book. I said I didn't write a book, it was just unscripted presentation and stuff. So when I decided to write the book, I decided that I will write about everything about money that can be denominated by money. It's going to be part of the book. That was why I ended up with a 16-chapter book. So the particular now, let's go back to the specific question you asked. Formula to calculate how much is enough is one of my best chapters in the book.
Sure it is.
It's the best because it encompasses many things. The comical angle is there.
Yes.
The fact that you should give it an attempt.
True.
Is there. The fact that at the end of the day, you discover that it is almost practically impossible to put a specific amount of money that this is when I get this is going to be enough. For example, some of the variables, you should calculate how much donation you're going to give between now and the last day you're going to live on earth. You should estimate how long you have to live from now. If I'm almost I'm 46 to getting to thinking of my 50s, how many years do I have to live from now? It's a difficult assignment to do.
It is.
But if you want to know how much you really need, how much is going to be enough for you, you need to be able to estimate how many years left for you to live, so that every expenditure will be calculated based on those number of years. And there are a lot of unforeseen circumstances that will come that you need money, but you can't predict them today.
Yes.
Just look at your taste. Your taste in life about things graduate as you get older, as you make more money and everything. So your current situation now, whether you are a Jepako or a Jebota, it will change, and your taste will change. So that chapter is to tell you it's practically impossible to calculate how much is enough. And it goes to tell you that there's more to life. The essence of money is, the problem is not that we are not making money. The problem is how we behave with the money we have. Is what determines our success in life. If you make 1 naira today and you want to spend 2 naira, you know it's not sustainable.
It's not.
It's a major challenge that a lot of people need to tell themselves the truth.
Yes.
The money will never be enough. So what do I do? My behavior towards money and the one I have is a major fundamental principle that you'll be happy with the little you have.
Of course,
as you go looking for more.
Yes, and I'll keep emphasizing how I love how the book revolves around money mindset, because it's now clear out there that how much is enough, it boils down to your mindset concerning money, because we might keep searching for more and more, but it will never be enough. And then you had a lot of money myths in the book, and this one is close to me because I am a youth also, and we are in a world where it feels like you have to have money to make money. And a lot of people, when you say start a business, where did you see the money? I think that's a lot of challenge for us as youths. We are hungry and searching for grants left, right, center. We're looking for places to get loans that will not be that would be easily paid off, and the interest won't be killing us or something like that. So the question is, if we don't need money to make money, how do we go about it?
Yeah, that's you pick one of the most particularly part of the reason I wrote this book is for the youth. I think if there's a specific population demography that I really want to that I'm trying to speak with, is the youth. And you know, there's a general perception, it's partially true, that you need money to make money, but fundamentally if, for example, most young people today, you ask them, why are you not doing anything? You know, I've graduated 3 years ago, I don't have work. Why are you not doing anything? I don't have money. The moment someone tell you that he doesn't have money, that is why he's not doing anything. He has not started thinking.
True.
Look, let me tell you, if you wake up and just discover that you are gifted 10 million, you will be as confused as anything.
Yes.
And your senses will come back when you have almost finishing the money.
True.
So the best thing we need to, if you start thinking, when ideas first. Ideas. If you have an idea, and have the humility to start small. I think most of our problem particularly in the Middle Belt, is the fact that we grew up with this mentality with this civil servant mentality. It's a problem.
Yes,
salary is just to make us exist. If at all, most people that are working, salary has never produced millionaires. Maybe let's say just 2-3% of those that are working ended up becoming millionaires. But majority of us are just working just to survive. But survival is not the thing we should be looking forward to. There are ideas that you can start today, no matter how small, and we should have the humility to start small. and grow it over time. Part of the problem we have is that, you see, the issue of you must have money to make money. That means the new billionaires should have been children of old billionaires. If that is the premise.
If that is true.
If that is the premise,
Yes.
that means we will not have new billionaires,
We
because you have
wouldn't.
your parents must be billionaire for you to be a billionaire.
Money, yes.
But check the trend. People with ideas
Yes,
are ruling the world.
they are.
Because if you solve a problem, that is how you make money.
True.
To make money, you have to provide a service. It could be a product or a service.
Yes.
Any other thing completely is a delusion. And if you don't have the humility to start small, you keep struggling. You be carrying you have a BSc certificate in your cupboard. You're struggling to eat. You need to tell yourself the truth that there's more to life. Have the humility to start small. Have the idea first. Then when you start and you grow it, the issue of money now comes in. The issue of money comes in when you want to expand the scope of what you're doing. I agree. Let me not downplay the
role
need
of
that
money.
we need capital to start.
Yes.
But if you check majority of the people, they want to start big.
True.
Do you know with 50,000, you can start a business with 50,000. You can start a business with 100,000. I was talking with somebody recently. He talked about he wanted to go into selling of clothes. He needed money to rent a shop. How much to rent the shop is between 80 to 100,000, depending on the area. That alone is the capital. And I told him, why not start with, there are many boutiques around now. Why not buy and be a distributor to them?
Yeah.
That means you have saved yourself the stress of renting a shop.
Yes.
So over time, the profit you're going to make from that distribution you're doing can now get you a shop, then you expand. That means you both do retail and wholesale.
Yeah.
I'm just using this as an example.
Yes.
That you really don't need that much to make an impact.
True.
And until our youth understand this, we'll keep going, roaming the streets, looking for your uncle that is in government to get you a salary job.
True.
And even it's unfortunate, but I think this is the right time for youth to really take advantage of the fact that people are making money there. Let's wake up, think of what to do. I usually say the simplest feasibility study you can do is to wake up, take 3 weeks, go around your area, just walk around where you live. There's something that is lacking that people want to buy, they can't find. It's a business.
It is.
You see, the problem we are having is that you need to identify your customers before you start a business.
Right.
We start business before looking for the customer.
Yes.
It's a problem. We're doing it in the reverse order. You need to meet a need. It's a need you need to meet until you identify that need and who is going to patronize you. I usually say that at least have like between 10 to 20 people, 10 to 100 people, depending on the type of business. When you can even interact with them. This is what I want to start doing. Where are you getting this product? I want to start doing it. It will be closer to you. Can you patronize me? There's nothing wrong with that. When you have the commitment of 10 people, already you have a foundation to start. That means they'll be patronizing. Because business is about turnover.
It is.
And one of the major challenges is the fact that we over-concentrate on making much margin on one item. In the book, I call it the Hausaman philosophy.
Yes.
Make small margin, but sell many products.
More, yes.
That is how you make money.
Yes. And so I'm just, the more you're talking, the more I feel this is a privilege, and I hope that people out there watching will feel the same way, because I went through this book, but then there are a lot of pointers and key facts you just mentioned that are not in the book. And
sure.
Yes, exactly, because the details of going around seeing we're working reversely, you know, you need to find people who need the service first before you, but I feel reverse is the case, and I think this is a take home for every other person. And then a new idea rules the world. So don't sit there and say you don't have the money, but rather first have the innovation and
Sure.
then the idea, and even
True.
with that idea, I believe even how to come up with the fund will flow in naturally.
True.
I believe we are able to solve the issue of if you don't have the money, we found a solution. And now the second part I want us to go into is, rather the third,
Yeah.
is that you now have the money
Yeah.
and you want to start a business. And I've seen a lot of people fall into the trap of Fadama, all these Ponzi scheme,
Yeah.
money doubling, putting in their investment into what they do not know about. And then one of the major things you talked about and we're still talking about, money myths are do not invest in a business that you do not know of or you are not involved in. And I've seen people lose money because they've invested in a business they don't know about, or they haven't don't put in their own time and effort into it. So we're now looking at people who now have the money, but for some reason have put it into an investment that they are going to make a loss at the end of the day. So, sir, like, this is out for people that haven't read this book. And of course, as we are talking, you're giving details that are not even in the book.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think this is also another opportunity for people to get details from you.
Yeah, I think one of the major challenge that people have in business is the fact that there are people that have money. Now, what kind of business do I do with this money is the major challenge.
Yeah.
You see, the idea of these Ponzi schemes that end up defrauding people, there's some element of greed in us.
There is.
That's why we fall prey to things like that. You know, the normal interest you can get from whether the bank or investment houses
Yeah.
is usually between, depending on how good the economy is doing, is depending between, it went as low as 2% at some point,
Yeah.
but it's hovering between 10 to 13%
Yeah.
now. You get that percentage per annum. Now somebody comes and tell you that he's going to give you 30% per month. The first thing you should ask yourself is that what business would this man be doing
Yes.
that he will make this much and pay you 30%? You see, but because we are excited to make a lot of money, we want to have enough money,
Yeah.
which, like I said earlier, is a delusion.
It is.
We easily fall prey to things like that. But let me put it this way. Now, if you want to go into business, it's not everybody that is supposed to go into business. Let me put it that very straight. I said something about if you're too soft not to hurt anybody, don't go into business. Because people that are really making it, the business is a serious business. You can't come and be doing it as if it's you're a charity organization. It will die a natural death. So people that are committed, entrepreneurs are usually serious-minded people. Some of us that are afraid, we don't want to take risks, we should look for salary work to do. Because you make more money from risk taking. But if you don't want to take risks, then put your money in risk-free investment. Depending on how much you have, I usually advise that for you to put your money in investment houses, at least let it be up to $1 million.
Okay.
But if you have anything lower than $1 million, think of what kind of business can you do locally that you have higher return than that. And another thing is, I said in the book, don't put money in a business you know nothing about.
Yes.
Now, part of the challenge with that is the fact that, like the Ponzi scheme, you don't know what the person is doing. You're just giving him your money and he's promising you interest that is not realistic.
Yes.
That is a problem already. Now, most of the times, your friend is making profit in selling bags. And you just jump into it.
It's one of the major challenge for a lot of
You
people.
don't know how she started. You don't know
True.
the history.
Yes.
You're only seeing the fact that she's selling now.
results
No.
now. Yeah.
We need to learn whatever business we're going to do. Let's have the time to learn a lot about it first. So that this money, some of us, the capital to do this business, will only get it once.
True.
So if you don't maximize that opportunity at that particular time, it will be difficult for you to accumulate capital over time. So before you go into any business, the best form of business is the one I refer to as the intrapreneur. entrepreneur means you are working and you're trying a business. There are organizations that give you opportunity to do that, as long as it doesn't conflict with your primary responsibility.
Yeah.
It takes care of the angle of fear that what if you don't sell at the end of the day, at least there's a salary somewhere that is coming while you try the business. I advise that people should give that, try it that way, because we have a good percentage of people that are working. Try doing the business while you're working. Most people retire and that is when they want to do business. I always say that your retirement money is not meant for business, because at that point you're 60. What business are you doing? Even at 60, you should stop looking for money.
Yes.
Because at that point, your level to take risks, your ability to withstand the shock of risks is low.
True.
Most people have gone to the grave because they took too much risks.
That's true.
At that age. So it's a problem. But the best time to take risks is when you're much older. Learn from it. You take risks, you fail. Well, you learn a lot from failure than even success, because success make you feel you have arrived. You can't fail.
Yes.
The day you grow over time, when you are failing at top, is the wrong place to fail. Fail when you start small, so that you learn over time, and when you stabilize, it helps you to take calculated risks to reduce the issues that come with failure, because it can be devastating. But most young people that are not working, please don't sit there waiting for salary. I have a lot of you that came to my office of late. I should help them get. I said, look, this work as a director, the house I was able to build is not because of the salary I got. It's because of the small consultancy thing I do, which is what is keeping me. I agree, salary is something that I can fall back to, but primarily we need to think of something much more than salary if we really want to make it. If we really want to attempt to have enough money. It's good to attempt, but we may not have. Look, Dangote is still looking for money.
He is.
If Dangote is looking for money, I think it's crazy.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I kept on saying that I agree on virtually everything you say in your book, and I still agree with this one, and that is this one. I find it very controversial. However, I find myself agreeing with it for so many reasons, even if the percentage that was put there might not sit well with a lot of people, but then that is where you said, and it's still part of the, one of the guidelines for money, and is your wife's money, is not your own. Yes, sir. So, and I know you made it clear in the book that a lot of people didn't agree with it. There was a lot of backlash from the people and that you were talking to, and for me though, I do agree with it, and some of the breakdown you gave concerning how it should be then, but I would like it to be out there more for keep emphasizing on the fact that people haven't gone through the book, but then they should also know, because I feel this is a household book in a lot of way, and yes, people should know, because it says your wife's money is not your money. and so we will round up with this question very much. Yes, so yes.
Yeah, I think your wife's money is not your money is part of the comical aspect of the book.
Yes.
I want when people read that book, they should be able to laugh at some point. That is part of the essence of the book. Now let's go back to the issue that your wife's money is not your money. Is very fundamental, and why I introduce it is the fact that a lot of families are going through a lot when it comes to challenges of money.
Yes.
There's a survey by Michigan University that money is the major reason for divorce. Money does a lot of harm if you don't get it right.
Yes.
Now for men, that section particularly is for the men and the women anyway.
Yes, it is.
But for men, the last thing you want to do to yourself is to start putting an eye, or you want to have an account of how a woman spends her money. It's a problem. Primarily, by default, men were supposed to take responsibility of everything in the home. But we're in a society now where there are a lot of women that earn salary even more than the men.
True.
Even if your wife earns more than you, it doesn't mean you should now just let her become the... No, you're still the head of the home.
Yes.
Whatever you can do to contribute your quota, she will appreciate it. But don't want to control what she's in. If she decides to hand over that to you, fine, that's perfect. But the essence of that particular section is that for you to maintain your happiness, for you to be a happy man, your wife's money is not your money.
It's not.
And the formula there, the formula I give in the book on how the money should be allocated, she's doing you a favor if she stick to that formula. Because she takes care of herself, maybe for her parents. You know, a lot of men have a problem that their wives are supporting their parents. What is wrong with you? They train her. So it's expected that part of our income, I think about 20% or so, I'm not sure.
Yes, sir, 20%.
They should use that money to support their parent.
Yes.
Now, if she's doing that, it's like she's doing it on your behalf.
Sure.
Most smart women don't send that money and telling their parent that they are the one that sent the money. They send the money on your behalf.
True.
You're making it, you're taking care of your in-laws, she's contributing in the home. What else do you want a woman to do for you? So, if you do that, a woman will respect you more. Because all we need as men is respect. They want us to love them. Yeah, we'll love them. But we don't need any love from a woman. We need respect. And when you don't encroach in their money, your respect is intact 100%.
Thank you very much, sir.
Don't mind me.
No, you're so spot on. Thank you so much, sir. And this is how far we can go with the book Money. How much is enough? Secrets to financial freedom. And there are a lot of secrets in this book you wouldn't know until you grab the book. Thank you for keeping a date with us today. Until we come your way next time, goodbye.